Fuck me. We need tongue.
This is the Dude Loft Mountain Podcast with your hosts, Gabe, Tanner, and Tommy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dude Loft Mountain. I'm your host, Gabe. I'm always joined with Tanner and
Hi.
Tommy. Jeez, that was the line. It was the only thing you had to say.
No Pepsi. So my question is,
Go on.
not my question, I guess my decree is, we're really lucky that we live in a world where women do not, in large majority, enjoy the act of pegging. Because, stick with me here, that's like a relationship ending question. Like, that's like if like your girlfriend or wife ever asks you like, hey, you want to have a threesome, and you're not down, relationship's not coming back from that, right? Like, that's a weird, like, oh, you're not down, I would be down. Now you're not giving me what's going to stimulate me.
Do you think it has more weight than the threesome question? Because most hetero...
Well, I mean, to me, it's like if my wife came to me and was like, I would put things in you, and I'd be like, I'm good, but then my head's like,
what else does she want?
Well, no, now she's gonna go find someone to put things in. Yeah, like, maybe I'm just insecure.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like sex isn't that big of a part of a relationship. I mean, it's an important part, but like if my girlfriend wanted to was interested in pegging and I'm not down for that, I don't think it would be a huge problem.
Well, yeah, but to her, it might be.
Maybe. But, if you're in a relationship, you should communicate enough that, if I won't do that, something else will compromise.
But that's my point, is it's an incompatibility issue, right? Which is always my thing. If in a relationship you have a problem with someone, or with your significant other, and you can't come to a compromise, then it's an incompatibility, and something that, if it is big enough, needs to be considered for the end of the relationship.
But that's my point, is I don't think it's big enough. Like, one thing that would be big enough is, if she wants kids and I don't want kids. That's a big problem.
True. I guess Tanner's thinking about a different girl than I am. Because I know what girl you're thinking about, and she's very oh, okay, that's cool. Like, we don't have to do that then, which is totally, some people are like that.
But then there's some who level-headed.
Yeah, but then there's some
stable.
There's some with lots of trauma who are like, no, I'm well, fuck.
Yeah, which that's fine. And I feel like some people hear trauma or use trauma, and they're just like, "This is a bad word." And it's not. Things just happen. It's not your fault.
Yeah, trauma's fun. You should try it.
It makes you into things, and that's cool. Totally fine. But I think people who are like, pegging has to happen in my future, I feel like those people are more likely to kind of bring that up before it gets serious. Yeah. Before it's like, well, I just fucking wasted 3 years and now you don't want to peg.
True. There is a point where after your first couple times with the person, that discussion happens. Okay, now that we've gotten over kind of the awkwardest stages of
about pegging, threesomes,
different stuff. Yeah.
True.
Bro,
that
question.
Is true.
Weren't we previously talking about dreams?
We were.
How did this... When you said you had a line for this episode, Tommy, this is not where I expected.
Oh, no, hang on. I never promised you that it was going to be about dreams.
Oh, well, I thought it was going to be.
No, because you guys were like, we should start off on dreams. And I was like, yeah, but I've also got a line I want to open up. Because it's a genuine question, but I felt like it needed to be asked on the podcast.
I didn't hear the but. So
I heard what Tanner heard.
No, I didn't say the but. I thought it was implied by me not saying it was about dreams, but Jesus, I understand. Tommy. I understand the confusion.
We talked about this. We said we want every episode to be a continual flow.
I am loaded.
But speaking of dreams, I had thought of a dream. No, I thought of a question about a dream.
Oh, good.
I have a dream.
I have a dream.
We're fulfilling his dream right now, by the way.
Oh, boy, we better not go down this road. All right, Gabe, continue.
Maybe not.
We're all in a circle holding hands.
But we're white and Gabe's brown, so
that's enough, right?
Well, what I'm saying is, if we wanted to turn him into a slave, we totally could.
It's true. Majority rules, I suppose.
I cook, I clean.
You do, though.
I know.
Yeah, but I just keep feeding him wine.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's the secret formula. That's all you need.
Oh, I forgot you got wine.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, we're gonna have to start introducing breaks. No, so I had a question, and I was asking Adam, what would you do right now if you had the possibility? And this was hard for me to explain to him last time, so bear with me. If you were given the opportunity to go to sleep tonight and wake up, and everything that you absolutely know, it was a dream. And you wake up with a totally different memory of like, oh shit, this is my like life. That was a long fucking dream.
I hope I'm hotter.
Would you take the opportunity, or would you continue living your life this way, but with the absolute reassurance that it's not a dream?
That's like a monkey's paw thing. Because I feel like that's like a monkey's paw is you make a wish and the monkey's paw, it's like something closes, which means you get your wish, but you get a negative side effect from that wish. So I feel like
the box.
Yes, yeah. So like if I was like, well, yeah, of course I would wish I could do that kind of thing, then I'd end up being like more abused and even fatter than before.
But I see. No, it would. It's 1 in a 8 billion chance.
No. It's not a 1 in 8 billion chance.
That's for sure.
Because there's lots of really bad countries and there's lots of really good countries. So it's like you're playing mad dice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my question.
But so what's in your hypothetical scenario? What is for certain? Like this life, if I choose to make this a dream, what is for certain in the other life? What do I know?
You will wake up remembering everything, but as of given the choice, you know nothing.
Oh, so in the other life that I have the choice of choosing, nothing.
You know nothing.
Nope, I'm good. Hard pass.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Because
like,
there's too many unknowns.
Yeah, because like you could wake up as like a 67-year-old man, and then you just shit. Like, plus like
23-year-old
okay,
trapped in an old man's body. God, that would be terrible.
So what if you would wake up and you were
wouldn't need Viagra.
It was the first day of your conscious continuance. So like mine was when I was 4. I remember
I've thought
the
about
way
that
back
before.
to like the first memory I have.
Yeah.
And I was about 4 years old. So would you go back to that spot?
I would, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
In a different life. So it's still not guaranteed where you would end up.
But your age is guaranteed.
But your age is guaranteed that you would be relatively young.
I don't think I would, because I was fortunate enough to have like a really good upbringing. And
why'd you look at me?
I'm so sorry. Well, I looked at Gabe and then I looked at Tommy. Nothing was implied.
No, I know. It's just funny because you're like, I was fortunate, and then he turns and looks at me to have a fortunate or a good upbringing.
Yeah. No, like I had a good childhood, so if I had the opportunity to redo it without knowing what kind of childhood I would have, probably not.
Yeah, I still wouldn't do it. Because like I got through all that shit already living in my house as a kid. And I don't want to
have the chance of doing it again.
Yeah, of going back and having to do it all again. Even if I now know a bunch of stuff, I'm in a different life, so all my information doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
To this family, like nothing I have in my head can fix anything with this family because it's a whole fucking new set of problems. Or it could be the best fucking life I ever had, but I'm not gonna play with that. I've got a life here that I care about.
Yeah. That's a tough risk to take.
Yeah.
But if I ask this
high risk, high reward.
5 years ago, would your answer be different?
No, I don't think so.
Think about what year it was 5 years ago.
5 years ago, it was 2016. Thank you for doing the math. Simple math.
Simple math, dude.
Simple fucking math. 2016. Well, I had just gotten dumped, and I was coming home from work every day and watching Pirates of the Caribbean over and over
That's
again.
a good life, though. I mean,
Trump was elected. As far as like what was happening in our country,
I'm looking a little more inward for this one.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fine. I'm just giving people a remembrance.
I also
I don't think I would take that up.
No, because in 2016 I didn't know I had a bad upbringing.
Oh, that's true.
I hadn't found out anything. Like I hadn't
it was
been confirmed or told or anything yet. So yeah, so I would have. So then I would have. I would have been I probably would have tried to kick your ass if you'd even asked me. Like, what'd you say? What'd you say about my life? I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't have. I was still a big little bitch.
Well, that's interesting.
Big little bitch.
Because, I think the three of us have had very, very unique, well, maybe not unique, but definitely away from each other, very distant type of upbringings. And I don't think I would have changed it either time. Either now or in the past.
Yeah.
Now definitely probably not. And I used to make suicide jokes all the time. And
I know it wasn't, but it sounded like a callback to Chop Suey. Running suicide.
But I had told Adam recently because we were listening to this song, and I was like, "Oh, this is the song I used to listen." Actually, this is the song I used to listen to when I decided I could kill myself right now, and nothing would go wrong.
Damn.
And I'd forgotten about this song because I've grown up. It's been a very long time since I heard that song and was in that place of mind. It was actually 11 years.
Damn.
It was Tum Thumbs by Chumbawamba, wasn't it?
No, it was actually a really cool song called "Windows Rolled Down" by Ray something.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
No, Ray something. Not something Ray.
Ray Charles.
Colin Ray.
No, it's Ray.
I think you're thinking of Colin Firth.
Ray something. I don't know.
Colin Quinn.
What?
Colin Farrell.
I like Colin Farrell.
Continue.
So anyway,
Sorry.
And I had said, I don't want to be one of those people that are just like, oh, don't give up. Like, eventually it'll get better. Like, don't do it. Because I still firmly believe if you want to die, you should be allowed to do that. But I'm kind of becoming one of those people that are like, don't do it. Like, it gets better.
That's an interesting point of view, though, because like mental illness is a real thing, and if people are in a state of mind that is not proper and points them towards that thought process of like, if you want to die, you should do it, but that like their mind isn't right. Do you still agree with that?
I agree to do it the way that another country that I've mentioned before, but I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
Switzerland?
I think it's it might be Switzerland. But yeah,
Sweden.
they make you go, like, it takes a couple of years. You have to talk to multiple doctors. You have to convince multiple professionals that you are of sound mind. It just it's a really hard
Years,
time.
man. I'm just gonna fucking pop myself with a shotgun at that point.
Yeah.
But like it's a difficult process.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of gray area in that question.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Gabe.
I'm trying to get you guys to listen to me. And if I can't do it, Navi will.
Yeah. One of my favorite memories is like deep in one of my depressions. It was like right after a breakup and everything. My buddy walked into my house and my door was unlocked. He walked into my house and found me in the complete darkness in my living room, completely reclined in my recliner with Hallelujah, the Jeff Buckley version, blasting. And I was just staring at the ceiling, and he goes, "What you been doing all day?" And I was like, "This." He's like,
You okay, bud?
"Yeah, no." He just goes, "And go Buffalo Wild Wings." I was like, And it was just like, "Oh, I see you've walked in on one of my moments."
I've been caught. But it is interesting because I was curious if you guys would change your answers depending on the time. What if you were guaranteed?
I would change my answer depending on the time. For the situation that you just mentioned, like rewinding 5 years in the past, I wouldn't take 5 years. I would take 9 or 10. Because 5 years that was my senior year of high school. And after like senior year, you can't really change too much of your trajectory.
True.
So like I, had gotten scholarships. I already applied to colleges. Like I knew where I was going. I knew what I was going to study. So at that point, everything was kind of set in stone. But rewind back an extra couple of years from there, I would definitely take the opportunity to redo it.
See, I think I did the same thing. I think I'd start at like my junior year or something, or like maybe in sophomore year. But I would definitely, because I was going to join the military after high school, and then I let someone convince me not to, and so I didn't go. And then that just started me on like a 3-year like journey of not doing anything with my life because I didn't know what to do. Because like I had my heart set on going to the military, and I just didn't. Which now that we know who I am, I probably wouldn't have passed the psychological exam that they give.
Maybe.
Well, at that time you would have,
But it was
because you
Ranger.
didn't necessarily know everything about
You didn't
the
have any,
situation.
like-
Did you have psychological problems at that time?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh.
100%. Like yeah, I was abused, like, and I was like living in my abuser's home still and everything.
Yeah.
So, and they were actively like my parents, especially at that time, were actively like, you better go to the military. Like you're saying you go to the military, you better go because we don't think you'll cut it in college, kind of thing. And I was like, fuck you, Mom. I'm gonna turn 25 with no degree still, and that's what I did.
Do you think that you for sure had, like you were aware, or do you think that because you were unaware, you were more of sound mind?
Oh no, the unawareness of being abused was way worse because I like everything that was wrong, I had no answer for. And so I was just super angry. Like I was just super angry at myself. I was super angry at the world because I like couldn't do anything right.
That's how Darth Vader started.
I hate Santa
How do you feel about Santa Monica Beach?
Yeah. But so yeah, no, definitely not. That's what I always say. I think a lot of people where I think therapy is going to be really important to normalize and stuff like that is I think it's really important people do that and get confirmation and validation that yes, what you experienced was absolutely not okay. Because I don't know why my voice broke there. That was weird.
Getting emotional.
Like yes, what you experienced is absolutely not okay. Because for me, that was the moment where I was like, okay, I can start cutting myself some slack. Like I still hate myself and I'm not suicidal anymore, but I still have a lot of mental problems and hangups and stuff. But it's mainly just me trying to rewire stuff that was hardwired into me for the last, 18 years, 20 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Sorry, my voice cracked.
Yeah, what's going on with you two? I'm
Yeah.
next. It's going to be bad.
It's the spicy memory.
I can feel the crack coming.
I hope it's high pitched. Makes me feel better. You both are taller than me. Shit. I forgot what the fuck we were talking about.
Dreams.
I
had a weird
What? We were
dream.
talking about dreams?
I had a weird dream today.
Okay.
You ever have a dream, and this is oddly ties back to our previous conversation. I had a super weird dream that I told people I was going to the military, and then kind of how I moved in here, they offered me an opportunity to go a month earlier, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And I didn't think the decision through, so I ended up in the military. And for some reason, they threw me into an ongoing class or something. So I had no fucking clue what was going on. And let me tell you, there is no more stressful dream than being in the military and having no clue about any of the protocols of what's going on around you. And everyone else knows, but no one's telling you. It was just a dream of that, of me basically getting yelled at and put through all these extreme punishments and stuff like that because I didn't know anything about the military because this class was 4 weeks in.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I was like, that dream hurt me. I don't know why, but it hurt me.
Do you guys ever have recurring dreams?
Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
We talked about that on the last episode.
Did we?
Yeah, with my little alien and feet coming at me and the glass breaking and shit.
Did I tell you about my ghost story with the little feet coming at me?
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe you instilled that in my brain.
You didn't talk about that on the podcast.
Well, I mean, you know the story, though.
I know the story, yeah, but if you want to tell it on the podcast, that legitimately spooked me.
Bro, me too.
Yeah, I would not have enjoyed living through
Oh,
that.
God.
Ooh, okay.
Should I tell the story?
Yeah.
Or are we,
I think
going
we
somewhere
should.
else with this
No.
conversation?
Everyone pick a nightmare real quick while Tanner tells this story and think about your nightmare that you want to share.
So this was 3 years after I moved in to my place in Mesa, Arizona, after I moved from Pine Top to Mesa for college. So I was I still didn't know the area too well. I was first time living on my own, but I was kind of used to it after 3 years. But still things were uncomfortable and kind of being in a house by myself was quiet and just still felt weird. But I was sleeping and I just woke up out of nowhere with just my heart beating. I was sweating like a pig, my shirt was drenched. And I was breathing hard, and I felt like I had just finished running a marathon and was about to die. And that's the state I woke up in. And I turned on my light really fast, and I just felt really scared for no apparent reason. And I don't scare easy. I don't really believe in too much of the supernatural. I mean, I watch horror movies for fun. They don't really get me. I'm
You
kind
go
of
ghost hunting for fun.
yeah, I would.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't bother me. I'm a stable person. I don't spook easy.
Yeah, you're just afraid of La Chancla.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrified.
Anyway.
So the fact that I woke up in this state was just weird to me because that's never happened. So I turned on my light really fast and I
Well,
look
you've lived in Arizona your whole life, though.
yeah.
It's a bad joke. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
I didn't catch.
You
the
said
joke over my head.
waking up in this state bothered
Oh, god damn it, Tommy.
you. Yeah, I'm kind of a piece of shit. So, let's continue with the story.
But yeah, so I wake up scared, turn on my light, and I check Sheba, who's my dog, sleeping in my bed, and I make sure that she's okay. Because I figured if it is something spooky going on, dogs kind of alert to that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I saw that she would just passed out like normal. I didn't think anything of it. So I turned off the light and tried to go to bed. And before I explain the next part, I should kind of explain how like the house that I lived in was set up. It was like there's the front door and it had tile and it went through like a little entryway which looped into a living room area, which then looped in another right to the bathroom and then like a carpeted side of the house, which had a second living room and rooms attached to it. So like I lived in one of the rooms attached to the second living room, and the second living room was kind of like my area. I could close off the second living room and have the living room in my room, and that would be like my space. So I hear the front door kind of like close, or I hear like the what do you call it? The doorknob, like the metal piece, and I heard it like latch, like it closed or something.
Yeah.
And this was, so like I woke up, turned on the light, looked at Sheba, everything was fine, went back to go to sleep, and then I hear the door latch click at the front door, which is like wrapped around the house. And I hear like these little children like pitter patter, like barefoot footsteps going from the door, looping through the first living room, past the bathroom to the second living room. Just like, sounds like, you know, like toddlers, like when they get excited, they kind of like jump around and their feet like pitter patter. Like it was that noise that I heard going from the front door to the second living room. And I could hear it from a distance, get closer and closer and closer. And then once it reached the second living room and hit the carpet, all of a sudden it turned into like a big boom, 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 like fucking heavy footsteps that instead of being like a little child just kind of meandering around, it was fucking heavy footsteps running, sprinting straight from the second living room to my living room, or my room. And so I got up real quick, turned on the light again, pulled the gun out from underneath my bed.
Yeah, you fucking gangster, Tony Montana.
I was scared, dude. And like nothing was there, and it freaked me out. Like I'd never experienced that. The sound was just so distinct. I could tell you the exact path that these footsteps took. And the second that they changed into like heavier, like dangerous footsteps, and it freaked me the fuck out. So I stayed up for like an hour with my gun, and I was like checking all the locks and the windows and like checking corners in every room. Like as I went into doorsteps or passed through doors, like I had my gun and I was clearing the house.
Yeah.
And I had never been that spooked before in my life, and still I've never like experienced that. I've never been that scared.
Just visualizing you in that situation is very odd.
Yeah,
because I can't visualize
No,
Tanner clearing a house because he's actually having to clear it. But like I just know people who like, you know, it's just weird. Like you're not someone that I would expect to ever have to clear a house.
But I'm very happy that you are that person, because there are people who would have woken up, grabbed their gun, and sat and waited for that door to open and would not have slept. And they would have just been like, this room,
Tommy.
this room,
totally
Tommy's that guy.
this room I know is safe. Anything out there may be safe, maybe not. I'm not going to find out. I'm going to wait.
You know what? That's one of my I know I'm not like that. Like my brain automatically assumes I'd probably be like that. But I've had moments where I lived alone in the house and stuff like that, where you would, especially in a house as big as I lived in, like not as big but as long.
Yeah.
If I heard it didn't connect, it was a U shape. So if I heard something in the like living room, I had to walk through that whole fucking house, and I would have to clear corners and shit.
Yeah.
And that whole house was a fucking zigzag, so I had to fucking keep.
Yeah, no, I cleared the corners in like every single room. And I mean, it wasn't like I had just moved into that house. Like I had been there for 2 or 3 years. And so like I was used to it. I'd adjusted a little bit. So there's no reason for me to be that scared. Like it's just so unexplainable.
Did you check the showers?
Well, no, there was no reason to, because it wasn't like closed. You can obviously see in the shower when you go in the bathroom.
It's
You don't close your shower curtain?
No, I leave it open. Do you close it when you're done?
You're supposed
Yeah,
to.
you're supposed to.
Why?
Helps mildew and stuff not grow. Mold.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
all the
it.
Because
water.
it like traps it in the area that's meant for water. Oh, that makes sense. I guess I need to start doing that.
Yeah, and the liner stays better, faster, longer.
I had no idea.
Plus, if you had to take a shit in the bathtub, it hides it.
I'll remember that for next time.
Anyway,
You never know.
Yeah, that's weird, because I think as a kid I was very much a person who would be like, I'm just gonna wait here. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold this weapon, and I'm gonna wait.
I think that's how most kids are. Yeah.
But as an adult, like, I can't. I have to be the adult. I have to go do it.
There's no one else you
Yeah.
can
Well,
rely
see,
on.
for me, it's not even necessarily that. It's if I sit in here for 4 hours and it is someone and they leave, I'm never really gonna know, and that's gonna kill me even more.
Yeah, I'd rather know than not know.
Yeah. And so at that point, that's why I'm like, okay, I've got a gun. Let's start clearing corners and see what's out there. But and most of the time, it's just a fucking cat or some shit.
I don't know. And then, like, I don't think it was anything supernatural, because Sheba, my dog, I feel like would have alerted to it in some way. So I don't know. Maybe I just like woke up from a bad dream and it was still kind of like flowing in.
Yeah, if waking up like that with your heart racing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
from what I understand, I could be incorrect here, but from what I understand and all the stuff I've looked into with sleep because of my insomnia and everything, waking up, jolting up when you're in REM sleep or deep sleep, you're not able to sever the connection as cleanly. Because you're supposed to gradually, that's why alarms and stuff, sometimes you can set them to gradually get louder and louder. Huh. Yeah, it's better for you to gradually wake up, because if you're in a deep sleep, cutting you out of it really quick can cause that anxiety and feeling of doom and stuff like that.
Yeah, interesting.
So that it very well could basically be kind of like a sleep paralysis type thing.
But like I've never experienced sleep paralysis and I've never woken up from a dream in that state before.
Yeah.
Like I've had bad dreams and I've woken up from them, but I've never been like that.
Yeah.
Like anxious and nervous.
Yeah. My bet is you're probably just in the middle of a nightmare and who knows?
Yeah.
And maybe you had an auditory hallucination that woke you up and then it just continued, you know? I've had some auditory hallucinations which aren't fun. Like going in and out of sleep.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Yeah. This is weird though. I don't know. I just like the dream, like what your explanation, right? All the stuff you just said, like makes sense, but so does the other stuff too, though. You know?
Yeah,
it's hard to know.
Yeah. So I've only ever had.
It's probably just your grandma trying to get the Wi-Fi,
dude. She would show up to the house at the worst time. She knew the lock code and everything.
Hey Alexa, play my fuck playlist.
No, maybe that's what that was. She goes in the door and she tiptoes through the first tile area, and then she gets to my room and fucking sprints. God, that would be more scary. I don't like that at all.
Ooh, that is a scary image. Just like an older woman doing that. That's some it bullshit.
Yeah, or like fucking what was that M. Night Shyamalan movie? The Visit?
I never saw that. Oh yeah, I know. I've seen clips of it.
I don't think it was called The Visit.
No, it's called The Visit.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. The one with the two old people and the kids?
Yeah, they go to their grandparents. Turns out it's not their grandparents.
My. Look at the time.
What time?
I just realized that Adam isn't going to be here, so I have to sleep alone. So we're not talking about scary shit no more.
Fair enough. We can change the topic.
But you don't want to hear about my nightmares?
Oh, I did say that. God damn it.
You
Okay,
did. Now we have to do it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
In detail, but
so I'm in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh my god.
It's 1947.
Oh wait, this is a dream. This could be possible.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say I can't tell if he's joking.
No, probably the worst dream I've ever had. Like what you just have described with the waking up and the full sweat going on, heartbeat beating and everything like that.
Yeah.
I didn't have those until I had a little bit of them, but I didn't have them severely, like where I was drenched in sweat and stuff.
Yeah.
Until recently, and it's always the same recurring nightmare. It's a little more real. Well, no, yours is pretty fucking real. I didn't mean to discount it that way, but it's basically. Did you ever see the trailer or not trailer? Did you see the gameplay for PT, that horror game that never became
PT?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
So it's Silent Hills, the one that Norman Reedus was supposed to be in. And
it was called PT?
Well, it's a playable trailer.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was the name of the game.
Well, no, that's kind of what it is.
But so it was the Silent Hill game that was supposed to be made with Norman Reedus. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I know that.
So you remember, did you ever watch gameplay of that or anything?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
So you start off in a concrete room that's got one floodlight on the wall. And there's a door that you have to walk through, right? I've been having reoccurring nightmares of waking up in that room and then opening. There's usually two doors, so I have to make a choice. And I basically just start going through this maze of just same room after same room after same room.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I will open a door and there will be a table with two chairs, and then one chair will be someone from my life. Like someone I don't like, and there's a lot of them. And to be able to get the other two doors to advance and try to get out of this. Because, for some reason my brain can't be like, oh, this is obviously a dream. I have to sit down until they leave. So I have to sit down and basically get interrogated and yelled at and screamed at by these people. And then when they're done, they're just done. They walk away. They go out the door I came in, and then another door appears, two doors appear, and I have to pick one. It's just that for what feels like days on end. And then I wake up in that cold sweat.
Huh.
So
that's a recurring dream?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
It actually, since I've moved in here, It's not as often.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, no, legit, because being alone in that studio apartment I was living in was definitely a contributing factor to it. But yeah, since moving in here, my nightmares have mellowed out a little bit. They're not nearly as bad. But that shit, like, I don't know why, but it just fucking terrified me. Like, there was just like this foreboding feeling. And I think for me, a lot of my fear comes from dread. Like, the movie The Exorcist, I can't stand it. Not because it's like jump at you scary or anything like that, but the whole movie is just, oh, look, we're out of school talking to a professor, but in 2 minutes, you're probably going to go back to the house. And then it like switches over to the house. And it's just like, oh, God. Because they walk in all slow. They always have to go upstairs. They have a conversation. And it's just like, God. And she's making noises upstairs and it just eats at me. That's the only movie as an adult I've slept with the lights on afterwards.
Have you watched Sinister?
Yeah, Sinister didn't scare me.
Didn't get you? Okay.
No, because I didn't like the ending of it.
Oh, well, the ending is kind of what makes it, though.
Well, no, I like the idea of the ending. I just don't like how they kind of went along the path of getting there.
Gotcha.
Necessarily. It was just weird. But like him watching the videos and stuff, that shit was terrifying.
Yeah. The only reason I ask is because I was reading like some kind of article not too long ago that said like Sinister is like the best horror movie in terms of keeping like your heart rate up, because like they did a test and made people watch like all these different movies and they monitored those things, and it's like something about like the grittiness and gruesomeness of those videos mixed with like the lighting and the sound and all this stuff just like is intentionally designed to keep your heart rate up and just like
well the whole
prep
movie
you for those scares.
The whole movie is dark.
Yeah, super
like
dark.
He's just in a dark office and like you're waiting for a shadow to move or something and it's like, oy. So I mean I get that, it still scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Like I was closing my eyes because I didn't watch. I think like it's like the lawnmower. Oh no, the lawnmower video is
that
bad.
one's the worst
because there's a noise with it.
Well, yeah.
They
Well,
blast
it's like all the
noises
other videos. Like you kind of watch it as it's happening, and the lawnmower thing is just like, bam, it's there.
Yeah,
and that's what.
Have you ever seen Sinister?
No.
Ooh. I own it.
It's actually my favorite horror movie.
So really?
Yeah.
I thought I knew what Sinister.
I
thought I knew what
Don't watch
Sinister was.
Piece of garbage.
Until you guys just described what you described, and I have no fucking clue what this movie is.
You probably thought of Insidious or something.
Yes,
maybe
it's easily mixed up. Yeah,
but I have a fear, and you just made me realize it, Tommy. Is yours is dread, and mine is waiting for something. So what is it? Anticipation?
Well, that's dread. Like anticipation and dread kind of go hand in hand.
Oh, okay.
Dread is like the I know something bad's about to happen.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, because that's what. To use an example from The Exorcist, there's a scene where they walk in, they're having a conversation downstairs, right? And you're kind of already on the edge of your seat because they're back in this house, which has this demon child in it, demon possessed child, and they're just talking, and then all of a sudden you just hear like from upstairs, and it's just like, oh fuck,
Here we go.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. It's that anticipation of, oh no, like it's something like I'm going to run into something bad.
Yeah.
And The Exorcist didn't scare me all that much. So maybe it's...
Wait, like the first Exorcist?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, Tommy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you were talking about The Conjuring? Has that been like a recent exorcism movie? Well, not recent, but...
Well, there's like the exorcism of Emily Jane or whatever it was.
I was thinking a different movie. Now that I know you're talking about The Exorcist, I watched that movie with Karina, actually. It was our second date. We went to a drive-in movie and watched it. And I was like, I like movies. I'm a movie guy. I love horror movies. And so this is the first time I had watched The Exorcist, and I watched it and I was like, that sucked.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I got no enjoyment from that movie.
Okay,
other than making fun of it, actually.
Hang on. So you watched it in a drive-in though?
Yes.
So if you watch it in a theater that's like blasting the sound to you on theater speakers and stuff, and you have to look at that screen, I mean, maybe for you it's different, but that shit just like grips me. I hate watching horror movies in the theater for that reason.
Well, I love being in the theater for horror movies, but it's like older movies don't really get me.
Yeah.
In terms of like feeling things, emotion, fear, happiness, whatever it is. Like I don't know, and I'm a movie guy, and that like people hate me for that because it's like, you're a movie guy, you should like all these classics. Like I don't care about the classics because I lose a sense of realism.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lacking quality.
Your expectation for what it should look like has been altered.
Yeah. I think for me it was just that movie coming up from a hardcore negatively Christian background. That movie hit a lot of my younger triggers
I can
in
see
me.
that.
Because I was I got baptized because my Southern Baptist pastor did a sermon on hell and went full fire and brimstone.
Scared you, yeah.
Terrified like 7-year-old me, and I got baptized like 2 weeks later.
Just out of fear.
Out of total fear that I was going to go to, because my fucking crazy ass mom was like, I was like, am I going to go to hell? She's like, well, you need to get baptized. And I was like, get me fucking baptized.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked.
So I think I found the difference between anticipation and dread. Yours is something as bad is about to happen, and I'm dreading this feeling that's about to happen to me. Mine is, this could go good, but only if I do this, like correctly, 100%, because a lot of my nightmares are a string of shit I have to do or accomplish, or I'm going to let everybody down.
Yeah.
And that I think is, I could make this work, but if I don't, I know it's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have a recurring dream that was like a fine line between those two adjectives, anticipation and dread. And it's like, oh, if I just knew the word that described that whole feeling of that dream, be a good word to know.
Your duck dream? I'm just going to pretend it's a duck that came at you.
No.
Anticipation.
No, this is like a recurring dream that I had like 2 years ago for maybe like 2 or 3 months, and then it just all of a sudden disappeared, and it fucked with me like mentally.
Yeah.
It really freaked me out.
Recurring dreams usually do.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably talk in the microphone. Recurring dreams usually do.
Yeah, but no. This dream, it was a very short dream, and it never lasted more than a couple of minutes. Is like what it felt to me.
Yeah.
But like in the dream, I would suddenly gain consciousness in just like this white space, white walls, or not walls. It was just like white nothingness. Like, there was a floor you could walk on. Everything was just white and clear, except for behind me was like this digital clock that was just like hovering in the sky, and it was counting down from like a certain number. And the number used to be significant. I feel like I used to remember the number, but I can't recall it at this point.
420.
No, it was like 18 or something. It was 18 minutes. Like I had 18 minutes, and the second I saw 18 and see it count down to the next second, like I knew once 18 minutes are up, I would die. I didn't know why, and I didn't know if there was anything I could do to fix it. But like just immediately, I knew that like that was the case in the dream. So I see the clock. I turn around, and then out in the white nothingness is my family. Every single member of my family, which is significant because like I come from a divorced family. My dad's side hates my mom's side, and they like won't be caught dead together. So I see both sides of the family, and like all of my close friends like hanging out, having a party. Everyone's like making jokes, like listening to music, having a good time. And so I walk over there, and I start like hanging out with my family and just like enjoying the moment with them, which was great. And then I don't notice it, but as the clock is counting down, members of my family start to disappear. And then by the time there's like 6 or 7 people left is when I notice like, oh shit, the group has like dwindled down, and there's like 2 minutes left on the clock. And it's like, I know the clock is counting down. I'm now aware of it. My heart's beating fast. I feel like I'm going to lose everybody. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the clock counting down.
Yeah.
And as it counts down, the last 5 or 6 members dwindle off, and then there's 30 seconds left, and I'm just like there by myself watching the clock count down. And like, I just, part of me knows that once the clock hits 0, I wake up for no reason. But I always wake up right before. So like, I never know like how it ends. So the clock hits like 1, never hits 0, and then I wake up and I'm just like, what a weird fucking dream.
Yeah, that would fuck with me, because I was like, what am I supposed to be at peace with, like not knowing? Like, our dream's supposed to mean something? Like,
yeah.
I always try to look through my dreams like, okay, now what the fuck are you trying to tell me?
Yeah, no, and I definitely thought that it meant something, so I just kind of like sat down and thought about it for a while after like the 4th or 5th time that I had that dream. And I found out that I was like afraid to be alone. Like if one day like I just had no family or no friends, like I would just fucking hate living.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I had that dream for like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 times in the course of like 3 months. And then all of a sudden just went away. Never had it again.
Because we made the podcast.
Honestly,
Maybe.
There's lots of like weird dream happenings and stuff happen in your late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you're like solidifying who you are and
Yeah.
everything, and like what your fears are, what your enjoyments are, and stuff like that.
Your identity is kind of becoming.
Yeah,
like,
because your
structured.
subconscious is always thinking about that. It's like, what's my opinion on this? What's my opinion on
Yeah,
that?
and your subconscious is, getting to a spot where it's like, okay, you haven't dealt with these sober, so now I'm coming in, and we're going to get through all this horrible shit.
Yeah. I'm looking through my movies I own, and I'm trying to find my favorite horror movie.
I enjoy
I'd be curious to know what your favorite horror movie is.
Shutter Island's not a horror movie. It's a psychological
I haven't
thriller.
seen it since it came out.
I read the
So
book.
when it came out, I was a scared little boy, so I would consider that a horror movie.
I read the book in middle
love
school
Shutter Island.
before it came out.
Yeah.
And then watched it. I don't know why the fuck I was reading Shutter Island when I was in middle school, but I fucking love that book. But
I watched that movie on Halloween night, and I like went to my friend's house who I was like hanging out with for Halloween. His name was Derek. And the town I grew up in was very Mormon, and this was a Mormon kid. And I went to his house to watch Shutter Island with his family. And they had like this Blu-ray DVD type player thing, which was like made for religious families. And the system would automatically cut out every scene that had like violence, profanity, like sexual things.
yeah.
And so we put in Shutter Island, put it to like, you know, the Mormon
Just credits.
the Mormon friendly setting, and I watched 20 minutes of that movie.
Oh my God.
I loved every minute of it. I had no idea what the fuck was going on, but I was like, this is a good movie.
Jesus.
They at least make the twist very clear, which sucks. Like I feel like I got
Yeah.
robbed of experiencing the full movie
Yeah.
with the twist, but oh well.
The book, when it happens in the book, it's like, what? Like, what the fuck? Because it's very quick. But
I think I was a little upset. So I had a friend at the time that movie had come out, and she was like, and I've already watched it, but I want you to watch it. And then she said, because I want to see if you know what the ending is going to be. Which ruined it, because the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, doing that as like
Yeah.
a precursor kind of ruins
And
it.
I'm like, I could have got
Yeah.
and had the enjoyment of that.
that's
And
why I know my favorite horror movie, like my all-time favorite, but I can't say it because it's a I find it better if people watch it not understanding it's a horror movie at first. Because it technically doesn't turn into a horror movie until very late in the game. But when it does it's already built up so much. You're so nervous and there's so much anticipation that it immediately slices in your brain. And it's like, oh, this is terrifying shit.
Is it that World War II movie that turns into Zombie Outbreak?
No, it is not. What was that?
I can't remember the name of it.
Iron Fist, or not Iron Fist. I don't remember.
Why can't I remember the name of that movie? Damn it.
Oh God, yeah, you're gonna have to look it up. But my favorite outside of that one, which I have to unfortunately disqualify, would be The Lost Boys. You ever seen that?
No,
It's an old '80s.
I didn't know it was a horror movie.
Yeah, it's an '80s vampire movie with Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. in it. Overlord. That's
Overlord.
right. But it's kind of a little bit of like a horror comedy movie, but it definitely leans on the horror bit very well. And it was like the first horror movie as a kid that like I genuinely enjoyed. Like that didn't scare me. And I was a scaredy cat as a kid
Me too.
because my mom was always watching it, and I like fell in love with like the movie. And so I just kind of like pained my way through the scary parts. And once you do that, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so once you've seen it a few times, it's like, okay. And so that's like the one that I have like no problem watching alone or anything, even though there's some scary ass imagery in it and shit. But it's a very 80s movie.
Yeah,
So-
I've never seen it.
I've made
I feel like I've seen
assumption
clips though.
about people, and it's very wrong. I assumed that everyone's scary movie was this movie that scared them the most, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
No.
No, it's the one that you enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Not for me.
What's the one? What is
Well,
your
then what's
reasoning?
your-
I don't enjoy
criteria?
Sinister at all. I watch it because like that movie made me like the most unsettled under like out of everything else.
But you enjoy that feeling.
No.
really?
No. I mean, I will like seek out experiences that give me that feeling when I like want it. Doesn't mean I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like Sinister, like it had maybe like a couple jump scares. But it was just like the tension, like the unsaid tension and the mystery that really just kind of
Yeah.
like kept your heart racing the whole time. And then there's movies like The Conjuring or like that whole series, which is all kind of based off of jump scares.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'll watch those any day. And like, yeah, it'll spook me out a little bit, but it's fun. Sinister was not fun. It was the first horror movie I watched that was not fun.
Yeah,
And-
I will.
And I liked that.
Yeah, you enjoy being sad.
It's true.
I will say Sinister. I watched it with a bunch of friends at a cabin, and we went to bed, and I was sharing a room with someone, so like there was no reason to be scared or anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's like that's immediate safety in most people's brains. And I was laying there in bed, and I was like, I am so uneasy right now because I don't necessarily like. I know there was shit I missed in the movie, things moving in the background now and stuff like that. And it's like, and I want to know about that stuff, but I do not want to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Like I was like, so yeah, no, it's a very it didn't live up to my the hype because I'd never seen it.
Yeah.
It didn't live up to the hype necessarily, but I think if I had watched it during the hype, I probably would have been really into it.
Yeah. And that's kind of like probably my movie taste is like things that just make me uncomfortable. You know?
But Conjuring and the first Insidious are like still some of
They're
the
good.
most shit in your pants movies for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Like those jump scare movies, I do not like fucking jump scares. I think they're cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, usually they're cheap, but if done right, it can still be like good.
I'm fine with like you get a 2 to 3 jump scare maximum in a movie. The minute you're doing, because like there's an old movie I really love called House on Haunted Hill that has like 2 or 3 jump scares, and it's not a necessarily scary movie, but there's so much weird, uneasy tension around everything.
Ooh,
that
right
when
up
you-
my alley.
Yeah, that when you hit those jump scares, it's like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
it just kind of gets you real quick. But I don't know if you'll like it because it's an old movie. So it's like old effects
yeah,
and stuff.
probably,
It's
yeah.
black and white, Vincent Price.
So I think
What horror? Sorry to interrupt. What horror movie were we going to watch in the living room?
okay. So this kind of ties into
Oh,
what
good,
I was going to
okay.
say. Perfect.
Ooh, what's that one about the cave divers? Descent?
Oh,
Well, that's not cave divers. They're spelunking.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
I
it's
think
cave-
I just spelunked. What?
Sorry, you said cave dive, and for some reason I thought ocean, like
Oh,
scuba
no.
dive.
No, I
Yes,
think
we're
cave
on the-
diving and spelunking.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah.
Because that's supposed to be really terrifying. But it's
Have you
supposed-
seen it?
Yeah. No, but
Oh.
I've seen reviews of it, but I know
Which-
I've seen clips of it where it's all in the dark basically.
It's fun.
Who's
Yeah.
in it? Who's in it?
There's lots of sound.
Nobody's
It's like
name
5
we
new
know right
names.
How
Yeah.
old is it?
I think like 2005.
Yeah, it came out early 2000s.
So I think I've seen it.
It's just like
I'll-
3 or 4 girls that go cave diving. and
They
shit
go
goes-
cave diving in Mexico or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, then I haven't seen it. Never mind. But because this one I'm thinking of was not that.
There
base.
was another movie like The Descent that I don't think was nearly as good. I tried to run off the success of Descent.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
But I always tell everyone I don't have a scary movie. Like I'm not a fan of them because I don't find the appeal to being afraid.
Yeah.
But I will watch most of them. I don't fuck with zombies.
Oh,
But-
zombies are fun.
I'm
just
getting
so ridiculous that
I-
it's fun.
I'm
It's got
getting
an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it while I learn more about like how that's most likely impossible to happen.
Have you watched I Am Legend?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a good like first step into watching zombie movies.
So I
Yeah,
watched.
because it's not necessarily like zombies.
Yeah, it's still somewhat human.
It's just like mutants.
Oh, the
I've
movie's good.
watched the original. I think the original Resident Evil with Michelle Rodriguez in it.
Yeah. That's the original.
Yeah. So I watched that
Mm-hmm.
the day it came out because my family loves horror movies. And then I watched what's the other one? Dawn of the Dead. Is that another?
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead was.
Yeah,
was
I watched that one.
Old movie?
I fucking hate that movie.
No, it's just it was like made 2003, I think.
Yeah, so it's like
well,
Resident
it
Evil.
was like originally like a really old classic horror
Maybe it
movie,
was.
I feel
Well,
like.
no,
Yeah.
they made newer movies
Yeah.
with it though.
They made
I'm
one
probably
where they're
gonna
like
get
a
lit
bunch.
up.
They're a bunch of people in a mall. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
because I
it-
know Shaun of the Dead was like a pretty recent.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, that's that Simon Pegg like.
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
no, but
comedy
that was
movie.
supposed to like kind of piggyback off the, like parodying the name of like there's Dawn of the Dead and then there's Shaun of the Dead. Like, out
Yeah,
now.
I got you. Yeah, Dawn of the
But-
Dawn of the Dead you're talking about came out in like early 2000s, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think
I
it's George Romero.
have watched these movies. Like I still give movies a chance, unless someone says don't watch it. I'm like, okay, I'm not watching it. I'm not going to force myself to watch a horror movie. But I would always say like, oh, but I guess I really like it. Both. I really, really enjoy them because I really like the villain. I fucking hate those kids. I want them all to die. And
Really?
yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't care about them.
I recently
They're-
watched both of them. And
They're good actors. They're fine
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I just don't fucking care for the kids. I want the clown to win.
True. I loved it in theaters, and then like I loved it so much that I was like, I'm gonna buy this movie. And then I bought it when it came out and rewatched it. Hate it.
hate it?
It's not rewatchable at all.
No, I will say it does. me and my friends have rewatched it a lot, I think, for most people, because we've watched it probably 10 to 15 times.
Yeah.
But we each time it gets less and less scary, and you more genuinely enjoy like the story and everything like that. But we also marathon movies constantly, so we're used to sitting down and watching
built
stuff
for
for
it.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, built different, you know.
I think I have to get up once or twice.
Yeah.
I'm like the people,
Yeah, I can't.
Oh no,
I can't
we
marathon.
get up.
Okay.
It's just kind of on because we've all seen it enough at this point. Once you get through the first couple of viewings, like, oh, we've all seen this bunch.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the bathroom or get a drink,
So you're just
or-
hanging out and it happens.
Yeah,
And
you're
it
just
just
chilling.
happens to be on.
It's just a weird movie to chill to.
Yeah, you can't really chill with that movie.
Yeah. Because I remember at one point they all fell asleep, and I was like, well, fuck you guys.
Yeah. I know additional viewings, like, I enjoyed the kid actors more. Because I was like, I was more in it for the humor and like their acting and their performance and their
In
lines.
the first one or the second one?
The first one.
The first one?
Yeah. I don't think I have not watched the second one a second time, but the first one, after multiple viewings, it was more or less for like the fun factor of it. And then the first time I watched it in theater, it was like, oh, what kind of like weird, scary shit are they going to throw at us next? But after additional viewings, it's like you already know the fun of the mystery is out of the box. You know,
Yeah.
it's gone.
I already know like
Yeah.
where he's going to come out or how he's going to come out.
Yeah. So theater experience, that movie was built very, very well.
Yes.
But is
Yeah.
not designed for additional viewing.
That movie has two of my like top, like probably my top two like scariest imageries for me.
Ooh, which one?
So the first one, I've tried so hard to like watch the scene and not be affected physically by it. It's the one where Henry Bowers he's cutting his name into, what's the fat
The
kid's
fat
name?
kids?
Yeah.
His belly.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben.
Ben.
He's cutting his name into his belly, and Ben kicks himself over the bridge.
Yeah.
He gets down, and they get down there and they tackle him, and he looks over to the side, and it is standing
Oh, he's just
there.
like, eating a hand or
and
something.
he's eating the
right?
arm of like the dude that he just killed, like one of the
Yeah.
characters he just
Yeah.
killed. And he turns it and waves at him, like
Yeah.
gives this little look and waves, and I can't fucking handle that. My brain's
I-
like, that is fucking awful. That is
Yeah.
horrifying. to
And it was
see.
like, that was the imagery that I loved, especially
Yeah.
when watching it in the
No,
theater. It was
yeah.
like, oh, fuck yeah.
I love it because I'm like, finally, a fucking scary thing in a movie.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, like it's fucking getting to me. But it was that one, and then what was the other one? Oh, what does he do? Hang on, let me think. He does that. Oh, it's not even him, the librarian.
Oh, when in the background, she's just like creepily smiling at
Well,
Ben.
she turns. You watch, and she turns and then hunches over and does the smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in
staring.
each scene, when they switch the camera back and forth,
Yeah.
she's closer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love that scene of that movie because it's like, I don't know, things in the background that maybe like some people wouldn't catch on, but
Yeah.
like you having to catch on to is like, ooh, just kind of gives you the chills,
Well,
which
yeah,
is
no.
one of the reasons why I fell in love with Hill House.
Hill House is fucking
Yes.
great.
So,
Yeah.
for that,
if you guys
dude.
will just stop
Sorry.
and let me continue.
My bad.
So I fucking love that part because I am watching it, and I watched it with you guys, didn't I? In the theaters? It won?
Oh yeah,
Hill House?
No,
Oh,
it.
It.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
yeah.
I watched it in the theaters 3 fucking times. Jesus.
Oh, God. So
Damn.
And I was shitting myself every time.
I agree with all the things you guys said, except for the new one, the imagery. I liked it because it made me so uncomfortable that I was like, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Because I already knew what the old one gave me. And I agree with you, Tanner, with both movies, old and new, part one is always the best. And what else did you guys say that was trying to... Okay. So that scene where the little old lady is like kind of fucking with the background.
Yeah.
I like have stared and I was like, dude, am I seeing shit? Like, do they see it? Like, what am I?
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking with me a lot.
At first glance, you're unsure if you're just seeing something.
Yeah, because it's one of
Very
those
odd.
movies
Yeah.
where like, would they do this? Why would they do this? And then never acknowledge it in the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, because that's a weird thing with horror movies. Like, it's just been recently where they've been, and I could be wrong on this, but for the most part, major blockbuster horror movies, it's just recently they've been doing shit in the background. Like, they did it in, like, Dracula and stuff like that in the 90s, but it's just because most movies, like The Conjuring, your Insidious, your Sinister have little stuff in the background. But in, like, Conjuring and Insidious and stuff like that, pretty much, if there's something to be scary, it's in your face. Like, they're not being subtle about it. So it's very interesting because that's something I really enjoy about horror stuff.
yeah, I feel the same way because it fucked with me. But that's why I love Hill House. So
Yeah.
2 things. because it does that, and I was just kept watching. I was just watching and looking to see what is happening in the background. I was hardly ever watching the actor sometimes because I'm like, did that statue move? Is the statue going to move? What's it going to do? Is it going to do anything? And sometimes it would do nothing. Sometimes it'd be on the other side of the screen.
And sometimes they put like obvious things that like you're like, oh, that's got to fucking do something, and then it doesn't. And so you're and then there is something happening 2 feet away from that you're missing out on because you're looking at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very well done.
And so I think, even though I know it's kind of shitty because you're like watching it currently, Tanner, Rick rewatching it, I want to watch that. I'll
rewatch it with you.
Yeah.
That's one of the only series like actual things that has made me scream out loud in like panic, because there's and we've all seen it, right?
Really, Hill House?
Hill House, yeah. There's 2 moments, and we've all seen it, right?
Yeah.
Green's seen it.
I watched the whole
Well, that's why I'm currently rewatching it.
if
We're
you haven't-
3/4 of the way through.
I forgot about warnings. God damn it! If you haven't seen Hill House, spoilers. Also, if you don't like scary shit, stop listening. Just fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, spoilers for Hill House season 1.
Yeah, season
2
1
is called Bly Manor.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Which I haven't watched. Have you guys?
I watched
I
half
did.
of it, and then life just kind of got busy.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
I binged it over one weekend with some friends. I could have totally dropped off
Yeah.
halfway through if I was watching it alone.
Yeah.
It gets very.
I
very
was
slow.
not as like excited with it.
Yeah.
It did not live up to Hill House as I was watching it, and then life got busy, so it was like, oh, it's not really anything that I need to watch, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to it. Like Mike Flanagan is a really good horror director and writer,
Yeah.
and Hill House was incredible.
for real.
Yeah.
So after I started watching Bly Manor about halfway through, I was like, oh,
So I was sad because I was assuming I would feel the same way.
yeah,
And then it was like the same characters, but not. And I'm like, I can deal with this because of American Horror Stories, so I'll get past
Yeah.
that part. And then I started watching the first one, and then just life got busy, and I was like, I'll come back to this when I have time to like
Yeah.
really look at it.
Well, to
Yeah.
be fair,
And I never
To
have.
be fair,
I feel like Hill House didn't really get good till episode 3 or 4, or maybe 4 or 5, when like you find out what happens to Nellie.
yeah.
And then the episode directly after that is Two Storms, which is like hands down probably the best
yeah,
episode.
Two Storms is a great.
So
episode.
it's like the show takes 3 or 4 episodes before it actually really gets interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
Bly
think-
Manor's the same way. I need to finish it.
It's just
Yeah.
there's a couple episodes toward the end where you're like, this could have all been like, this is a whole episode. They're doing
Yeah.
this for a whole episode. Like this could have been a couple episodes shorter, and so it's just kind of like you're like, come on, get to the end.
yeah.
I think so. Hill House, to your point, is makes a really good first watch. It's really good where you're watching it and you want to keep watching those first 3 episodes that are, but
Yeah, because you want to know like what's
you want to know what the
happening.
fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you know everything at the end, you're like, great. And then they were like, okay, we're gonna do the same thing with Bly Manor.
Yeah.
But then they keep the same style of these are going to be people watching for the first time.
Yeah.
But we watched Hill House, so we're expecting things.
You know, yeah.
And I think maybe that's probably why
Maybe.
it's
Yeah.
a little stale.
And I think that's
I think you're
partially
right, yeah.
Netflix's fault because I think or maybe it's just a creative. It's hard with that one, but it's because it has to be its own standalone product too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's what made
because-
Hill House so good. Because like I never experienced a movie or a show that kind of did the same thing that Hill House did.
Yeah, and I love horror movies spaced out because it
Yeah.
gives so much time for more creepy stuff and more exposition. But the 2 times that Hill House scared me, like to the point of like, like whoa my gosh, like
Yeah.
look at that. There's one scene where they're at, I believe it's Nellie's funeral. Yeah, Nellie's funeral, and the camera is panning around and they're all talking, and it's
This
just
is
like,
in the Two Storms.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And they're all talking and the camera's panning and everything like that. And then when the camera resets and pans back to the first shot, nothing is said. No one said anything. There's no fast movement or anything. But there is like full on dead Nellie,
Yeah.
all drenched in
Yeah.
water and everything, standing behind them,
yeah.
just all hunched over. And
I just got chills.
yeah, it's seriously, we were watching it and I was like just looking around because I was uneasy and looking. And I went, bah, bah! and the buddy I was watching it was like, what? But
And you didn't see it?
no.
Oh.
But what was funny about that was I like finally understood him because there's a bunch of hidden faces and stuff in windows and everything like that.
Everywhere, yeah.
in that show. And once we figured that out, we were like looking out for him and stuff. And he saw one and he lost it.
Yep.
Right, and he was like, "Whoa, God! Like, look at that!" And I looked at him. I was like, "What?" And he showed it to me. And at that point, we were already like, he had to pause it and everything. So I was like, "Oh, yeah, there's the face."
Yeah,
and it wasn't super scary to me. Like, it was like, "Ooh," it was like one of the scary ones. So
but when you see it in the
happened,
moment, it's just like the feeling that gives you. Like no other show or movie has done that. To me.
No,
it's
and
crazy.
that's why I love it so much. And
you just want to share it with everyone too. This has been one of my shows to watch with Karina, and I'm so glad that we're finally watching it.
Trying to get so sorry. I tried to. Adam was like, "Oh, I'll watch these shows." He fucking hates TV shows. So I'm not a movie person per se, unless I know that I'm gonna like it or like something a lot of it. So like Star Wars, long movies. I was like, but I fucking love Star Wars, so I'm gonna watch these movies.
Yeah.
With him, TV shows, he hates them. Too long, too much of an investment. He hates them.
I used to be that way.
But see, I love TV shows because I can sit here for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 45, 55, 60 minutes once. And then I have to go do shit. Like, there's no way I'm going to finish a 2.5 hour movie and waste 2.5 hours of my day because I have shit to do.
I feel that.
So I like TV shows because I can come back to it. And they're designed for you to come back to.
Yeah.
But people binge them, so that's fine. But he hates them, so I tried to get him to watch Hill House. So I'm going to try to do it in 5 days.
Yeah. Well, actually, I feel like 5 days is a really good time frame for it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 10 episodes. You can do 1 or 2 episodes a day.
8?
For the first season?
Yeah.
I know the second season's like 12 or 13, I think.
But
maybe I'm thinking of other things.
We're going to try to watch these 8 episodes.
Please watch it in the living room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll watch it with you. Well, is that okay if I watch it?
I will too. You know, even though I'm currently rewatching, I will watch it with you.
Yeah, we'll watch it without our pants on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tommy. So 2 things. First, let me finish the Hill House thing.
Help me.
10 episodes, by the way.
So definitely we will try to watch them if there's 10 episodes.
2 a day.
So we also have other things to do.
Well, the shows are a little bit less than an hour. So it's kind of similar to watching a movie. Like you can make it.
I think one episode is like long. I think 2 Storms is like an hour and 10 minutes.
2 Storms is the longest one, but that's because 2 Storms is a technical masterpiece.
God, it's wonderful. But
that episode,
yes,
so good. That's the next episode I have to watch with Karina, or I get to watch with Karina, I should say. Oh, I'm hard just thinking about it. It's so good.
You got to try to stay quiet and not be like, can you believe?
I know.
Can you believe what they're doing?
I know. Well, I feel bad because like. I remember when we first started watching it in like episode 3, maybe when Luke goes down to the cellar on accident, and then Theo finds that like it's like a hidden cellar, and then she opens like the hidden door, and you see a little ghost face right in the stairs. That was the first ghost I saw.
That's the one that made my buddy scream.
Really? Yeah. I think it's one of the most easily noticeable ones. So that was the first one I saw, and then when I was rewatching with Karina, I was like looking at her, I was like, did you see it? Mm-hmm. She didn't see it, so I like rewound, paused it, and I was like, "What's that?" And just kind of like allowed her to figure it out that there's hidden ghosts in almost every scene, and there's just it's the coolest thing ever.
I don't remember the first one, but I know that I was like, now I have to rewatch it with someone. So I went and told my sister. So we restarted it so I could start it from episode 1, and keep looking for them, and then be there for her moment when she goes. Are you seeing shit?
I know. I feel like I messed up because I pointed it out before she saw it on her own, and I feel bad. I took it from her.
Because some people just don't let their eyes wander from the main action, and you have to know what you're looking for.
And I feel really bad about doing stuff like that because if you're on your phone or doing something like cool, but I know something cool is about to happen.
Please
I need
watch.
You to go look.
I feel like most people
and I always give it away. That's probably why Adam further hates watching things with me because I'm like, I know. Hey, watch this part.
It takes a lot of self-control. Yeah.
But okay, so the other thing was, we have like 2 dinners to go to and like 1 day of us before he leaves. So it might be more than 2 episodes a day sometimes.
I mean, we have weight and we have both, bro.
That's all I need.
That's all you need. I'll just drink coffee until I'm a shaking mess.
We do have 1 more weekend, so we could just do it. He leaves Monday.
Yeah, you could do a lot of episodes in a weekend.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. So majority of it will get done.
Especially those last episodes because you're like on that.
Yeah. Once you get past the Nelly episode and you hit 2 storms, then it's like fuck, what's happening? I have to finish this
I
show.
have to finish it. Yeah. We all stayed up late after episode 5.
Yeah.
Storms.
I think it was episode 6, actually. It was 2 storms. Sorry.
I don't know.
Oh, he did. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Let me put it in your language.
The other thing is, Tanner took his shirt off today. He was showing all the neighbors all his goods.
In the backyard that's surrounded by fences where no one could see.
No, we had several people.
Wait, can you guys not see over that fence?
I mean, you can, but I don't know how often people are in their backyards.
Well, when I'm out there, I can see over everything, boss.
You're like that one guy from, what's that Tim Allen show? Home Improvement?
Oh,
and you're the neighbor where you just see his eyes over the fence.
Yeah, but the reason I said that because you said, yeah, we can watch it, but with your pants off. I was like, he took his shirt off today.
I know. I was working outside doing my backyard project. And I walked through the house and I think I said like, good morning, Gabe or something. And I didn't have my shirt on. You're like, are you naked? And then I just walked away.
Yeah. He just kept going. I was like, are you naked?
I pretend like I didn't hear it, but I heard it. Yeah.
Okay. I know. You just like closed the door. I was like, I think he's naked. I think Tanner. And I was like, I'm gonna message the group chat and be like, I think Tanner has gotten comfortable enough to walk around his house naked.
Nope. But serious question though, seeing as it is my house, what would you two do if that happened?
I would politely ask you to put your dick away.
Fair enough.
I would.
I have some people in my life I know who sit on furniture naked.
Yeah.
And I'm not cool with that.
No, I'm not a nudist. I don't get nudism. Never gonna happen. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
This was just a hypothetical question because I thought it was funny.
We need to protect his frontal lobe so that doesn't change.
It'll never change. I promise you.
Adam, he joked one time, and someone was in the kitchen, and he came in the kitchen with him, and he came in, and he's like, I just saw Tanner's pee-pee.
I'm sorry.
And
What?
He's like, I just saw Tanner's pee-pee. And I went, I'm like, what? And he's like, he's naked. And I'm like, in the kitchen? And he's like, yeah, he's in the kitchen and he's naked. And I'm like, well, what did it look like? And he's like, I fucking hate you. He's like, that's your first question? And he's like, you didn't see him, did you? But it's already been brought up.
So was he just joking?
Yeah, he was just fucking around. You don't sleep naked. Like, you don't walk around in your sleep. Right?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I feel like you would have known by now if that happens.
If I fucking wake up with Tanner just glaring over me, I'm like, I'm not a stock. Like,
I don't know. I slept through that doorbell, so
Yeah, you did.
I don't think I would
remember.
notice that you walk around naked.
That shit woke me up at like 6:30. I ran down the stairs, like, delivery for Gabe. I was like, fucking Gabe.
They haven't even called me back yet. They were supposed to give me a new mattress.
no one ever called you back, do they?
No.
Oof. It's okay. I don't even give my number out.
Save yourself from the pain.
Le oof.
No, I just
The pain
like,
of rejection.
any woman who wants to date me, I don't think I want any part of that woman.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
If you can look at me and go,
I
this is
want that.
salvageable, I'm like, no.
Something's
it's-
wrong with you.
Yeah, you're hurt too. Go to fucking therapy and then go down the mill and do better.
Simple math.
Simple fucking math.
Simple fucking math. But on that note, let's put a pin in this and continue the conversation a little bit later. So thanks everyone for listening. You guys want to say goodbye?
See ya.
That's just how my dad sounded when he left for cigarettes in 1995.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay.
Love you,
Thanks
Dad.
for listening, everyone.